Hi guys, Derpy Moose 99 here with you. This is episode 6 of Banished with megamod 8 and a Jack and Jill start. Now in the last episode we had a few issues with food. Almost killed the whole town. We went down to zero food for quite a period of time. Luckily nobody died. We also ran into a sort of a genetic issue, I guess is a way of saying it, where we had mostly men at the younger ages and not that many women. So I've run this forward about 5 years. So we've gone from 27 population in the spring of 21 to, as you can see here, we have 40 people in the spring of 25. Our food is stabilized. You can see we're at 7,800 food. Logs are pretty stable. A few of the things I did while we were waiting for the sort of population situation to improve is I've built a second sawmill. This is turned on lumber just to a maximum of 300, just so we have something to build with. I de-derped a little bit. There was I built a chicken coop here because I thought it was a good place to generate eggs, at least to tide us over until we could get the lake set up. But I totally forgot that we had a chicken pen down here that's making a ton of eggs, so I deleted that chicken coop as a derp and not necessary. The other thing I've done here, well, we've added a few more houses, obviously. I took the mini shop that was over here, the one that we started with, that produced both the stone tools and the leather coats, and we've done a village tailor over here, and it's done a batch of hide coats recently for us. Now this has a few more recipes. You can use wool, canvas, leather and wool, canvas and wool. So right now we're just on leather. The other thing is I've built a house down here and prepped another one for our quarry. We've run out of stone a few times, so the quarry's in with 2 people. Doesn't produce a super ton of stone, but it's enough to keep us poking along as long as we don't get too carried away in the building. So there we sit. So my plans for this episode are, number 1, don't have a massive food shortage again. But 2, I want to start building out onto the lake here. And I think what I want to do with the chickens here, and I've queued up another pasture here for expansion and I guess for a disaster recovery. I'll get rid of that. So there's some feathers will be generated out of the hunter here. Doesn't show it there, but usually they generate some duck feathers. This is generating feathers. So if we build out in the lake, maybe a couple of rice farms just for maintain our food supply, and also maybe think about some rice flour. But also throw in a reed farm out here, and maybe a dock workshop, and we can start working on survival coats, which are feathers and reeds, which I find is a good sort of second step after you've done the leather coats, or the hide coats I should say. So I'm going to let this go and we'll get started. I just want to clear this out for view here. Oh, and sorry, and the other thing I did too is I built the central market here. There's only one vendor in, but that's enough for now. Our food bounced back fairly well, and this barn was filling up. So, with the farms over here, with the distributed small barns for the farms in the pasture, I thought the central market made sense. And it's a whole bunch of additional storage as well too. Alright, we got a trader. Bananas and pickled veg. Who's not going to buy bananas? Pickled veg. I don't think we're quite ready for that. Alright, thank you for that. Okay, so I think the build order is going to be down into the lake, so to get that going. And then once that's done, we're going to build up here, and I think prep for a farming node up here. Although we've only got one forester working right now, so this might be a good spot for farms out that way, and maybe a forest node up at here or up there. I'll think about that one. The other thing we could do is we could use some of this area down here for one of those small, dense forestry areas which are highly productive. So that's something for us to think about as well too. Okay guys, I really don't want to build this connector, do you? Okay, how much lumber do we have? 207. You know what? That's probably pull you out of there. Let's have a quick look at the houses. Okay, that's probably our next graduate. Alright, our dock to shore connector's built. Let's level things out here. Now I'm going to start building out here, but we'll do it a few pieces at a time. We don't want to strand anybody and kill them, so let's do that. Go to 2 builders. 2 people in the quarry is not, slowly adding some stone, which is good. We're up to our limit on iron, up to our limit on... Alright, we can get you out of there. And the blacksmith, we got 100 tools, so we can actually get all of that out. Food's still decent, although we should have a look at our graph here. So it looks like we might be tailing back down. We're still positive. Okay, the first one's built there. It's our 3rd one. Okay, so the way I look at these 3 farms and the pastures here, we can add a few more, but I look at this as temporary. I probably want to turn this into an industrial production area so we can feed trade goods into the docks that we'll have along this section here. So when we get a central market up here in a town center, that's where we're going to transfer all our agriculture and herding operations. Oh, we have 40 of 37, okay. Now I wonder if we should go to 2 there. It doesn't look like we're getting any chickens harvested, so... I usually have 2 in pastures, but I usually have bigger pastures, so let's see how that works. Alright, this is not bad. But we need to get some storage down here. Fix up our camera. We'll go for Z. I think Z should be there. And down to the lake. Call that X. Okay. We have a graduate to fisherman, okay. Now, which house do we want to build? I'm going to say we build this one. That'll help with their building efforts down on the docks and also position us for additional people here. Now we can have only a maximum of 4 in the tiny quarry here. And we've used 6% already with 2 people in a short period of time. So, okay. If we build another quarry, it's going to be a bigger one that we can upgrade. Now, if that's the case, we're going to need some candles as well, too. So we can get candles by putting a deer butcher in, or we could do some beekeeping. Trouble is with this peninsula start, we don't have a ton of room to play with. Okay, I think I'm going to clean these out. Clean that out as well. Alright, we have a trader. Oh, parsnips, cool. We have 1,600 or so spare firewood, so we can buy this. Okay, that's our next graduate, I would say. Okay, we've got one storage done. Let's lay in a few of these. How's our fishermen doing? 1,500 last year with 3 people. That's pretty solid. All right, we have a stone cutter there. Not quite ready for a dock house, so let's do this one. So unless we build another forest node, that'll be our last log cabin. Tools are good, coats are good. Okay, let's go to 3 on the firewood just to catch us back up to 1,600. Alright, there's our graduate moving out. Quick run of the houses. Probably our next graduate there. And there. Alright, let's add some more to our dock now. I want a market down here. And I think we'll go now. What did I say we're going to build down here? A reed farm, a dock workshop, and maybe 2 rice farms. So that's a total of 5 workers plus 1 in the market. So we'll need 3 houses down here as these folks graduate, I guess. Okay. Close that. We'll do a house run in a bit. Somebody died in childbirth. That's the saddest one, I think. What happened there? Dang, we lost all our students for some reason. No one is available. This says we have 7 people. Oh, dang it. Now that was a derp. Must have had 0 laborers there and we lost all our students. So we're going to lose efficiency. That was one of the things I was dreading here while I was managing so close. Well, that's a derp. That's going to impact our productivity. Damn. Well, I guess that's better than everybody dying of starvation, but not happy for missing that one. Now, how many houses? We must probably need a lot of houses then. So 1 boy. 2 boys. Three, it looks like. Okay, well, we get to build our 3 dock houses anyways. Not the way I wanted to do it. Okay, we'll let that build before we'll start the... Alright, while that's building, let's have a look here. This is our forester circle. It's about there. So if we go into here, renewable resources, dense tree shack. Let's think about building that one too. Okay, running it forward a bit helped, and we got a little bit lucky on our genetics. I guess we have 14 children now, which is pretty solid. So I was a little bit worried this town wasn't going to be viable, which can happen on a Jack and Jill start, but looks pretty good. Cake! Whoa, that's expensive. Do we want cake? Of course we want cake. Let's get 100 cake. Now, I don't know if we need a special place like a pub or something to eat it, but I'm not going to say no to cake. Okay. There's our houses in the dock. I'm not sure why that one's not being filled. Yeah, we'll look at that in a minute. Okay, I'm going to build some chicken coops and some... Yeah, so let's build this out a bit. We have 6 builders, so we can do that. Alright. Now, this is our dense tree shack. Now, I'm going to put 1 person in there for now. No, I lied. I'm going to put 2 people in there for now. Although we don't really have some great housing. It's either up here. So I'd like to maybe put another house in here next time we need to build a house. But you get to planning. Yeah, let's see why we have a 77-year-old moving to our dock there. Well, I would believe that's your wife. Okay, so we've overbuilt by 1 house. Okay, it's not going to matter for a while, so let's just ignore that. I suspect things will resolve itself. If we were desperate for houses and short on resources, I would have micromanaged that, but there was no need. Right, coats are down to 22. Which is not bad, but we have a fair number of people, so let's put somebody in there. Food's hovering around 8,000. Food's still good. Okay, our dock is extending out here. So let's just do a little planning exercise. So say we're going to do, a couple rows of chickens. Then we're going to want some dock. And then we're going to play rows of workshop. And then the next thing would be rice farms. Okay, hopefully I just didn't doom a whole bunch of builders, but now, in order to get the rice to build these, we're actually going to have to turn this guy on. I'm having trouble clicking on this. Isn't that weird? I've never run into that before. Oh. Oh, there's a derp. I had it pinned over there, that's why I couldn't click on it. Wow. Alright, let's run you for a while until these guys are built. Hopefully there's enough room in the barn. Yeah, not tons, but there's enough for some rice. Bit of a walk, but it'll be okay. This was just our placeholder unit that we just needed just for this purpose, so it could produce some rice for the ones on the lake to have some to be built. Okay, there's a workshop. We'll turn that off for the moment. Well, actually, I think, let's have a quick look here. We have reeds, so that must just be from clearing the land while we're building. And we have feathers, so we can actually start this guy. So let's go survival coat. Two dock workers. Let's take our village tailor out here. We've got 39 hide coats, but I'd rather produce the survival coats. We'll maybe save the leather for, maybe we'll do some curing or do some more advanced coats. And we should probably up our clothing limit. Let's make it 500. Just build as many as you can, we'll start using them for trade goods. So if we see our clothes go over 100, we'll pop 50 survival coats in the dock as a trade good to sort of supplement the firewood we're using. Okay, there's 20 rice coming in. Okay, we've produced 120 so far. Yeah, this is pretty full. Why don't we up our vendors here? A bunch of survival coats already. Firewood's good, lumber's good. Iron's good. Tools are getting a bit low. Do we have anybody in there? Okay, need to keep an eye on that one. Okay, let's do a quick run for houses. Now we have a rice planter built down here. So let's actually just remove this one. The one I couldn't click on. Okay, and our dock worker should run down here. Okay, enough rice for that one as well. Okay, I'm going to extend this out and then we'll put a reed farm here as well too. Well, it's made 63. We're over 100. I think we'll try 50 survival coats in here and see how that goes. Yeah, they're worth 15, so that's worth doing. You can see this rice farm's kind of bumped their food up. Now, we don't have enough to turn that one on. Okay, how are we looking for potential graduates here? Wow. Okay. Had a bunch of old age deaths there. It almost seems like some families are split up. This one and that one. But I'm not quite seeing. You know, I guess there. There and there are the two dogs. Oh, no, not that one. Wow, we lost somebody else too. Alright, we're taking a forester out, guys. Now, that's enough trees in there, so I'm going to throw that one on cut as well too. Chickens out here, we're getting chickens and feathers. So I don't know if it was just timing or if it's because I threw the second person in, but I'll leave 2 in there. So I'm getting feathers, chicken, bone meal, and eggs. Not quite sure what to do with the bone meal, but we're not drowning in it, so it'll be fine. I think while we're here, we might let's throw another pasture in. So we'll have one for quarantine, so to speak, and then one for maybe if we get some beef cows or pigs. I mean, who doesn't like bacon, right? So okay, let's try not to derp out and lose the school again. Yeah, okay, so we're out of reeds. We need to get our reed farm going here. Now, these things produce a lot, so I think one reed farm is probably going to be sufficient to start with. Alright, let's get that going, get our coats back into production. And then maybe we'll call that an episode. So, we started our lake town. We've built our dense forestry shack. Oh, we bought some stone. That's good. Oh wow, we're up to 495 stone. That's pretty awesome. So I think in the next episode here, we'll start getting our central market up here and get prepped to build a farming community and option forestry node, I think. Okay, here's the reed farm coming up. Good. Okay, I'll let the reed farm run for a little bit, and then next episode we could turn back on turn our dock workshop back on, making survival coats. Actually, you know, I lied, but let's maybe only put one in there for the moment. I have a watch on that. I suspect these will be fairly quick to produce. Don't need the second rice planter at the moment. Okay. I think we'll call that the end of episode 6. It's Derpy Moose 99 here. This is Banished with megamod 8 on a Jack and Jill start. Thank you very much.